Assalamu alaikum girls. Now in our next unit we are going to discuss the thermal properties of matter. Now the word thermal means that heat energy. Now in that we are going to discuss temperature and heat. We will discuss the difference between heat and temperature. In thermometer we are going to discuss the basic thermometric properties of the material like mercury and alcohol to construct a thermometer. We are going to convert temperature scale Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin to one scale to another. Describe the rise in temperature of a body in terms of increase in its internal energy. We are going to discuss first about the internal energy. Then lastly, we are going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of liquid in glass thermometer and a thermocouple thermometer. Now first is that we are going to discuss what is heat. Heat describes the transfer of thermal energy between the molecules within the system. Suppose if this is the system, in this there are molecules are there. The heat energy transferred from molecule to molecule, and this transfer of uh, thermal energy between the molecules is called heat, and it is measured in joules. Heat only measures how energy moves or flow. Uh, an object can gain heat, can lose heat, but it cannot have heat. Heat only measures the changes. Uh, Never, it is never a property possessed by an object or system. It is not the property of that system, but it just mere the changes that internal energy, thermal energy increases or decreases, or what is the change in that thermal energy. Heat has the ability to do work, and its heat is measured of how many molecules in an object, means in this object have how many molecules, and we are going to, and each molecules have what energy. So each molecule's energy is multiplied by the number of molecules, so the heat that makes up the heat energy of that substance. The core difference between the heat deals with the thermal energy, whereas the temperature is more concerned with the molecular kinetic energy. Next is temperature. I already told you that the current temperature describes the average kinetic energy of molecules in a material or a system. It is measured. There are three scales to measure: Celsius, Kelvin, and Fahrenheit scales, and it is a measurable physical property of an object. Actually, the temperature is a measure of degree of hotness and coldness of an object. As we know that molecules of an object are constantly in motion. If we give energy to that object, the more kinetic energy its molecules have, and they further move faster. They are constantly in motion, but when the object is given heat, and their kinetic energy increases, and they start moving faster and faster. So the temperature is related to how fast the molecules move within the object. We should not confuse the temperature of an object with the total quantity of thermal energy it can give out. For example, if you have a spoonful of boiling water and a pan full of boiling water, both can have the same temperature. They boil at 100 degrees centigrade. They may be at the same temperature, but that spoonful of boiling water, if it spills on you accidentally, it will give you less thermal energy as the boiling water. But both have the same temperature. So heat is a transfer of thermal energy caused by a difference in temperature between the molecules. Thermal energy can otherwise understood as the total kinetic and potential energy of the system. So what are the difference between the heat and temperature? Heat is a form of energy that can be transferred from hot to cold body. It is a change only. Temperature is the degree of hotness and coldness of a body. Heat is the total kinetic energy and potential energy obtained by molecules in an object, and heat is the total energy of motion of the molecules of the substance, whereas the kinetic temperature is only the average kinetic energy of the molecules in a substance. Heat flows from hot body to cold body. Temperature rises when heated and falls down when the object is cooled down. Has a working ability. Temperature doesn't have the working ability. Heat is measured in joules and it is represented by the letter Q, whereas the temperature is represented by the capital letter T and it is measured. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Heat it can be measured or determined by using the calorimeters, and the temperature is measured by the thermometers. Heat measures how energy moves or flow. Uh, Temperature is a measurable physical property of an object. So these are the few differences between the heat and the temperature. So heat is or the total energy of the motion of the molecule of the substance, while the temperature is only the average kinetic energy. Now we are going to discuss the list basic thermopeutic properties of the material. For example, alcohol and mercury to construct a thermometer means that if we are going to construct a thermometer, so inside the thermometer a liquid is used. So which liquid is appropriate. Now, a property which changes with temperature is called the thermometric property. A property means it can be the volume, it can be electricity, it can be pressure, it can be EMF, it can be color. So, one of these property with one of these property a thermometer can be made, and all with all these property we have the different thermometers uh, built. Now, what are the basic properties of the material? First is that obviously we are going to use a material that nor freezes or boils in the working range. For example, a clinical thermometer have a working range till 110 degrees centigrade. So in that thermometer, the liquid we are using should not boil. It should its boiling point should be greater than 110. So the liquid inside that do not start boiling or it freezes. So this is the property. It should not wet the glass, means that the tiny droplets should not be remain if the mercury or alcohol expand, and when it comes back it should not the droplets of the mercury or alcohol or any other liquid should not be remain on the glass of that material. So um, sh- uh, should not be, so that means that it should not wet the glass. It should be the good conductor of the heat. Obviously um, the temperature if it conducts heat only it can then expand. It should not be corrosive to the container. It should not be poisonous or otherwise dangerous if the thermometer break. It should have uniform thermal expansion, means that for the fairly large values of temperature their expansion is uniform. It should not be non-uniform. For each degree rise there is the same expansion. It needs to have a different thermal expansion than the container. It needs to be clearly visible and easily readable in the tubes. It should have small specific heat capacity. A small specific heat capacity means that it uh, that the if the specific heat capacity is small, so that the temperature rises quickly. So mercury is the only element that is liquid at ordinary temperature. Mercury is silvery white, freezes into soft solid tin or lead about minus 39 degrees centigrade. It does not wet glasses or cling to it. This property is coupled with uniform expansion throughout its liquid range, makes it useful in liquid in glass thermometer. So thermometer you have at home, that is we measure our we temperature is your mercury thermometers, and you can see that it is silvery and white. uh, we are using mostly mercury and alcohol are we are using. So there are three type of the scales on the thermometers. A thermometer can have a Kelvin scale, can have a centigrade scale, or can have a Fahrenheit scale. Now what is the relation between all these? We can see that the 0 Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degrees Celsius and minus 495 0.58 at the absolute well at the Fahrenheit scale. Now we are going to take Celsius, that is the zero of the freezing point of the cold water and of pure water, and 100 degree the boiling point of the pure water. Now you can see the if we calibrate, we divide it into, so 0 till 100, it is 100 division centigrades. But on the Fahrenheit scale, the freezing point is 32 degree Fahrenheit and boiling point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So 100 degree centigrades is equal to 180 degree on degrees divisions on the Fahrenheit scale. So we can conclude that 1 degree will be, and 180 by 5, that is 180 by 100, that is 9 by 5 degree Fahrenheit. But since the 0 Celsius is 32 degree, so just to convert for into centigrade, we have to subtract this 32, and just to convert into Fahrenheit, we have to add this 32. So this will be the relationship between them. So we can write the formulas like this: Celsius to Fahrenheit 9 by 5 degree centigrade plus 32, Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Now Celsius, we know that it will be K minus 32, since we have seen that um, in this we have seen that 0 Celsius is equal to 273 degree. So it is very easy to convert centigrade into Kelvin. Just we are going to add 273, and if we are going to convert Kelvin into Celsius scale, we are going to subtract it. So this centigrade can be converted into Kelvin by subtracting 273. So Kelvin to Fahrenheit conversion can be done like this. First, we are going to convert centigrade Kelvin into centigrade, and then we are going to convert it into Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius, 9 by 5 F minus 32. Celsius to Kelvin, adding 273, Kelvin to Celsius, subtracting 273. So you are going to learn these are the formula. So how we are going to apply in the numeric problems? We are going to convert 35 degrees Celsius into Kelvin. Converting degree Celsius into Kelvin requires just the addition of 273. So 35 plus 273 is 308, and converting Kelvin into Celsius means that we are going to subtract 273. So 356 minus 273 is 83 degrees Celsius. Now converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. So 50 degrees Celsius, the formula will be 9 by 5C. 9 by 5 is equal to 1.8. So Fahrenheit is equal to 1.8 C plus 32. So 50 Celsius is multiplied by 108 plus 32, that will be 122 degree Fahrenheit. So 50 degrees Celsius equals one 122 for on the Fahrenheit scale. Converting Fahrenheit into Celsius means that we are going to use the same formula. In this, the given is Fahrenheit, so we are going to place Fahrenheit 100. 1.8 plus 32. 32 is taken to your left hand side, so it will 100 minus 32 is equal to 1.8, and 1 point C, if 1.8 multiplying both sides, dividing both sides by 1.8, that give you the 100 minus 32, 62 divided by 1.8 is equal to C. So C is equal to 37.8 degrees Celsius. Next is describe the rise in temperature of a body in terms of increase in internal energy. So first we talk about what is an internal energy. When you heat up a material, it may change the states. The molecules vibrate when we heat up the. We know that the molecules are always in the motion, but when it is heated, the molecules start moving at a longer amplitude, and they start vibrating more vigorously and energetically, and they break apart. They just move away from one another, and material which has been supplied with energy, uh, we can feel it is getting hotter. So the increase in kinetic and potential energy, kinetic means energy due to motion, and potential energy means that they are held by by a force, intermolecular forces. So the intermolecular, there is a greater separation, so the potential energy increases. So this the increase in kinetic and potential energy of the particle uh, is uh, uh, is on increase, is what we call is the internal energy. So internal energy can be defined as the sum of the randomly distributed kinetic and potential energy of its molecule. Therefore, an increase in its internal energy means increase in temperature means the increase in its internal energy. Now, internal energy depends on many factors such as mass of the body. The more massive the mass, it means more amount of molecules are there, so it means there more amount of kinetic energy and potential energy of the particle of the system. So the internal energy depend upon the mass, the total kinetic energy, the potential energy in a system. When the energy is given to raise the temperature, particles speed up and they gain kinetic energy. Kinetic energy of atom or molecule is due to its motion, which depends on temperature, and potential energy of an atom or molecule is the stored energy due to their intermolecular forces. So what happens when to the internal energy when temperature increases? We say that the internal energy is the total amount of kinetic potential energy of all the particles in the system. So, when the energy is given to raise the temperature, particles speed up and they gain kinetic energy. So you can see that solid, they are compact. When they are given energy, they move apart, thus increasing the potential energy, and they start vibrating energetically. So there is an increase in the kinetic energy too. And if we still provide the heat energy, this liquid converts into gases, and they are far more energetic than the liquid or solid. Now the reverse can also happen. With the reverse, it gives off that internal energy decreases. Describe the advantage and disadvantage of liquid and glass thermometer and the thermocouple thermometer. Now, liquid in glass thermometer is very simple to construct. It is relatively inexpensive. That is cheap. It is easy to use. It is portable. It is We always use thermometer to measure the body temperature. In labs, we are also using thermometers just to know the just to note down the temperature at that particular moment or boiling or point. Meteorology also use the thermometer, maximum and minimum thermometer, just to note down the temperature of the morning and the evening and the day. Now, what is the disadvantage of liquid in glass thermometer? It is very fragile and can be easily broken, uh, and its water column inside the capillary tube that is used to whose expansion is used to measure the temperature. It should be visible, and we cannot read that from a distance. It is uh, its working range is smaller, and we cannot use for high measurement of the temperature, and it cannot be used for the surface temperature. So the advantages and disadvantages of liquid in glass thermometer: it is a good conductor of heat. Advantage: does not wet glass, high boiling point. um, it gives you fairly uniform rate of expansion, and it is clearly visible, respond quickly to temperature, visible meniscus. They are cheap to manufacture and easy to carry and handle. So the disadvantages are: mercury poses a potential toxic hazard if the glass container ruptures. So the mercury is poisonous. Or it gives a small thermal expansion. It is fragile and expensive and need to be dyed since it is colorless. High freezing points, minus 39 degree, cannot be used in the place they are very cold. Sensitivity of alcohol reduces accuracy. Alcohol wet glass, and it is less durable. So these are the few advantage and disadvantage of the liquid in glass thermometer. Now, first for the advantages of thermocouple, first we are going to discuss what is a thermocouple. A thermocouple is a common electrical thermometer, and it is widely used in the industry. Often two metal, copper, and constituents, two metal electrodes are used. One is of copper and other is of constant 10. What are the advantages of? Since it is an electrical, it can be reached from a remote site. Thermocouple can be made very small. It is a very portable, easy to take from place to place. It responds to change in temperature very fast. The thermocouple works when two different metals are joined together at two junctions. You can see that the thermo you can see that the this is the junction and this is the hot plate. Now there are two metal electrodes are there. uh, Low voltage is produced when the two junctions are placed at the same temperature. One is has to be placed at the lower fixed point, and other has to be placed where we want to measure the temperature. So these two generate a small EMF, that is the voltage, and it can be then this voltage can be read as the temperature. It's often used to measure temperature of the oven and the furnace. So their working range is very high. It is displays is easy to read. It can easily replace when damaged. It is durable, small in size and compact. Its working range is uh, wide working range. So it is used in industry, uh, and its bare temperature variation over a distance of less than 1 centimeter. It gives rapid response, low heat capacities, making it capable of measuring rapid temperature changes. And its disadvantages as additional equipment that is used is expensive. It is hard to calibrate because it bears the voltage difference, and then that is read as a temperature. Where only a temperature difference, the voltage drop in the lead and the junction means that since the batters are used, metals offers resistance to the flow of current. So there is a voltage, the energy, they also use energy, and there is a energy is used by the leads too. So this is about all the SLOs we have covered related to the internal energy and heat temperature and different thermometers. So thank you and Allah Hafiz.